me, I think the crux of the issue is a woman feeling that she has the opportunity to pursue whatever it is that she sets her sights on, independent of impediments, particularly those that would be unique to her based on her status as a woman. I think a connector to that question would be what, in a more generic sense, what do I think empowerment means, and maybe how have I felt empowered in the past? And for me, empowerment's always been about options. I said that I'm an educator for probably the last 25 years of my career, and I was a principal at one time, and people would say, what do you want for your students? Oftentimes the stock answer is higher ed, opportunity to go to higher ed. I agree with that, but for me it's really just options. So what I would want for young people, what I want for myself, is to have the skills, the temperament, the motivation, the relationships that allow me to do whatever it is that I set before myself. Those options, and then the good judgment to choose amongst options. What I feel is disempowerment is when I see something that I want and I can't have it because there's something in the way, such as I don't have the skills, I don't have the credential, I'm not part of the right network. That's a very disempowering feel for me. So I think that whereas it's not disempowering when it's something that people feel is attractive and desirable, but I have the option for it and I choose against it. That's my own choice. For example, I used to work in the financial industry in the 1980s, late 1980s, and I think it's pretty, if this isn't a completely true statement, it's mostly true, most of my peers who stayed there are now making seven figures, and many well into seven figures. There's no disempowerment for me around that. I had a choice, I was in the field, it wasn't the thing that I wanted to do, and I left it. So there's no sense of disempowerment, whereas I think if you are on the outside looking in and you have not had that opportunity and you have less financial wherewithal than you feel you need to do what you need to do, and you don't have access to an industry such as that, I think that feels disempowering. So for me, I feel like I've been incredibly fortunate, and one thing that I will sort of corroborate with regard to what the standard wisdom says is really supportive around empowerment is the presence of mentors. I feel like I've had the good fortune really throughout my life of having mentors. I've had family mentors. I'm fortunate, I feel like my parents were mentors. I had friends of theirs and uncles and aunts, etc., who I think gave me support and guidance and sage piece of advice at a young age. I had lots of support in my schooling, my K-12 schooling, lots of teachers and coaches and guidance counselors and music directors and student government advisors who really took an interest in me, made me feel like I mattered, made me feel like I had agency and I was empowered. College was an interesting thing. It was probably the least mentored place in my life, but some of that was decisions on my own part, so I don't really hold that against anyone. And then in my professional career, an incredible set of mentors. So people who show me the way, many times those people themselves have been empowered, and they sort of, I guess, share that with me or use their power to support and give me access to things. And so that's been really important. So I think mentoring is the thing that sticks out, and then certainly just the quality at a foundational level, the quality of the education I've had has really, I think, supported me, and it's really the thing that drove me to decide that being in the field of education as a professional was where I wanted to be, particularly trying to understand how those members of our society who are often most vulnerable and feel most disempowered, how we can do some things to shift that dynamic and give them the opportunities that they deserve like everyone else.